you can consider this a buying impulse. This is how I will categorize this. When we have a stock that comes down, then stops coming down, there's some noise into this, and then breaks the noise and start to go back up, I'm going to call this a buy impulse. Everything is moving up in the stock market since the Federal Reserve has decided yesterday not to touch the interest rates. Tesla is up 11.76, almost 5%. Post-market, we seem to be up by 12 more cents. Let's look at the chart to see if this move up has changed the current pattern that we are in. This is the green candle that we have today, and look at this. I will call it a perfection. We had the resistance at 250.69. We broke it a little bit, but we definitely see that this resistance, this horizontal resistance right here, has influenced the stock today because we are closing just right smack on it. This is taking this into consideration. This is technically a break, but I like to get a cleaner break than this. Let's wait for tomorrow to see if this is a break or not. In terms of volume, we are seeing an increase in volume. So we had 160 million shares that were exchanged today compared to maybe an average of 120 or something. So definitely we have a move. Okay. We are still in our congestion zone, but we still have a good news. So we had a downward channel that started July 19th. So this downward channel has been broken. So this is great news in itself. We are definitely going sideways. A couple of days ago, we have broken our bullish channel. So instead of going up, we started to go sideways. Now, instead of going down also, we are going sideways, and with this little bit of a close that we have today, this is a little bit better. We have gained back the stochastic over 60. The move was so frank today that even though we had lost stochastic over 60 a couple of days ago, we just gained it back quite fast, stochastic, which is pretty strong. And we also got back the EMI. As I said, when we are into a congestion zone and we are zigzagging, the indicators, we need to take them with a grain of salt a little bit when we are into a congestion zone. When we start going into a bullish channel or into a bearish channel, then they are more reliable. If we take a look at the 1 hour chart, of course, everything is great on the 1 hour chart. This is the move that we had today. We opened the day at 240, approximately at 241.15. Then nice green candle that brought us right to this resistance that we had at 247 that we could not break December 5th. And it was broken during the second hour. This was your buy signal on the second hour at about 247 and something. And then we had a move up. We had a little bit of a pullback that retested. This is a perfect case study. This is how this should happen. We had a resistance right here. We stopped before, we broke it, then went higher, and then for 2 hours, we came down and we respected it. We now see that 247, we have people that came in and pushed it back up because it was trying to go down at this time, and the stock was pushed back up by the buyer. We have buyers that are now coming in. We had a little bit of a tug of war. The sellers won for 2 hours, but then the buyers came in and we finished above 250.69. So great day today for Tesla. VIX is up a little bit, but I don't worry because it's at 1247, so still quite low. This is in line with what happened yesterday. The stock market is all happy that Jerome Powell has decided not to raise the interest rates. This is great. US bond continuing down today. So this is helping the stock market also. US dollar dropping. So this is good for me, the Canadian. Let's look at our EV stocks. So Rivian, look at this move for Rivian. Yesterday, we had a break. Yes, I always say, yes, it was a small break. It was a great candle. It was just a small break. But look at this move today. Super nice move. So we are on our way to 24.62. It's possible that we pull back a little bit. Each time we see a very strong move, in any stock, there's always a chance that we have some shorters that come in and try to push it down because it has overextended itself. So we should not worry too much. We should look at the overall trend, but this is something that can definitely happen. And if I draw the channel, we have something like this. We broke this downward resistance. This is a downward resistance that we had for a while. This was broken. We had sellers there in the past that had won the tug of war. They did not win today. There was another resistance that was there that was also broken. So very strong day for Rivian. Everything is great in terms of the indicators. Xpeng, not so much. We don't have stochastic over 60. We had a move today. It has broken back above 1557. We are still in a big congestion zone. This is the big congestion zone, and there's a smaller one within it that we seem to be hovering around. So there's no buy signal on the daily chart. On the 1 hour chart, we could say that this is a buy signal. This is the resistance that we broke today, and we are still above it. Stochastic is at 62. Everything is good. You can consider this a buying impulse. This is how I will categorize this. When we have a stock that comes down, then stops coming down, there's some noise into this, and then breaks the noise and start to go back up, I'm going to call this a buy impulse. I'm going to call the buy impulses. They are not all the same because we need to look at the surrounding of those buying impulses. And sometimes we have a resistance that's very near. So maybe it does not make too much sense to catch that swing because it's a little bit harder to make money. And I have a good example of that. This was the buy impulse right here with Tesla on November 14. This was a buy impulse. And because we had so many resistance, it did not go super far. It went intraday until 252. But I'm going to still call them. This is a buy impulse. And for each buy impulse, I will be talking about the resistances that we need to take into consideration. But here, Xpeng on the 1 hour chart, there's a buy impulse. You do your own research and you make your own decisions. NIO, look at this, succeeded in breaking the resistance at 791 during the day, but could not close above it. So we need to have a close above a horizontal resistance in order to get a buy signal. And we need to be outside of a downward channel. So we have that here. And we need to have stochastic over 60. We have that here. So we are only missing a close above 791. So there is no buying impulse yet on NIO on the daily chart. Same thing for VinFast, nothing there. Apple, we had the buy impulse yesterday and it's still valid today. ARM, we got a second buy impulse last Friday, but we lost it and gained it back yesterday. It's okay to buy here, to sell because we lose the buying impulse and then we recover and then we can buy again. It costs almost nothing to buy and sell. And then look at this move right here. Boom. This was a great move. And it's okay. We cannot catch all of the moves. I have so many stocks that I'm looking at and I just decide to invest in some of them. And sometimes I make a good decision and sometimes I make a bad decision and I should have bought this other one instead. So nothing is perfect in the stock market. There's always a risk. We should not get greedy. We should never get greedy. If I had bought here and then held, I would have made so much money. Yeah, if you had been cuter, you could have married Raquel Welch. And if my grandma had wheels, she would have been a bike. We should not play this game.
If my grandmother had wheels, she would have been a bike. You know, what, you know, what else, it doesn't make any sense what you said.
Palantir is up 1.9%. There is no stochastic yet, but we see that it really wants to bounce on this support. I jumped the gun a little bit myself today. I got in. I will exit if we start losing this horizontal resistance, but I think I'm going to wait for a loss of this support. And I just hope that we are going to break 1842. I got in today because we had broken during the day 1842. Yes, sometimes I jump the gun, but the rule is that we need to have a close in order to have a break. But sometimes I'm not always at the computer, and when I see something, I decide to buy because I don't know if I will be able to buy later. To each our own, nothing's perfect. This one, I am wishful thinking a little bit. I am wishful thinking that this is going to go higher. Nvidia, okay, a bit of a move up right here. I find this pretty boring because this is into a big congestion zone. We're stuck in the C, so Dow Jones closed higher, 0.43%. NASDAQ, we see some exhaustion right here. So myself, I got out. I had 1 XPX call and 10 SPY calls. And I sold them during the day because we had a nice up move. So I just wanted to take some profit there. I took home today close to $5,000. And we are very close to a resistance that we have right here. So because of that, I decided to take profit. And if we switch on the 1-hour chart, we had a nice move up during the first hour, and then we started to cave in right here. In fact, I played this on the 5-minute chart. We had a nice impulse today. And then I used this line as a support line. And I said, if we start breaking lower, I'm going to get out. And I had entered yesterday. As soon as we got lower a little bit, at 10 o'clock, I just got out. And when I got out of this, I don't get back if we cross back. Because what oftentimes happen is that once you get back and you try to get back in, you are going to get zigzagged to death. I'm going to buy, I'm going to sell, I'm going to buy, I'm going to sell, I'm going to buy, I'm going to sell. And then in the end, it came down. When I set an exit and I take it, I just set a re-entry a little bit higher. So this is where I had set the re-entry. If it would have gone higher than 47.38 during the day, then I would have gone back in. The same thing I did with Rivian. I had entered right here at 18 something, and then it came down. I got out. And then I waited for a break 1953 and not a smaller break lower here because I did not want to get zigzags. So I waited for a break at 1953 in order to get back in. And this is why I got back in today. I share this with you just to inspire you. There are different ways to make money in the stock market with the same technical analysis lines. There are multiple ways of making money. What counts is that we identify the right lines, and then based on that information, then we can use that to our advantage. S&P 500, it's showing signs of exhaustion. It might not come, but better to have some money in my pocket than have it on paper. NASDAQ also, see, this is reddish, so maybe we are going to have a stabilization. I don't know, maybe. Gold is so volatile. This is coming back quite high. Silver also, it's rebounding very nicely, but now we see a little bit of selling. Bitcoin is just going sideways. Ripple is still rebounding on that support. This is pretty clear rebound. And Nouveau Monde Graphite, nothing's happening here. And let me do end phase. We have some big support. That was just broken at 114.18. We have stochastic over 60 and everything. You can consider this a buying impulse. The buying impulse is there for that one. This is where we are at. And Google, I won't revisit every single day because this is just going sideways. I will put an alert here at the top. And we don't need to look at it until it reaches that point. If you want to get access at my lines that I'm drawing, you can get a TradingView account. I have an affiliate link in the description. And if you become a member at a specific tier, you are going to get my lines on your charts. This is a service that I offer. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you like what I do, you can become a YouTube member. Click on my TradingView affiliate link. I'm going to wish you a great evening. We are going to talk tomorrow, and I'm going to tell you à la prochaine.